Well, that did not work. Already technical difficulties. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to this screen. This screen works? Yes, it does.
All right. Wow.
You know what, dude? If something's gonna go wrong, like it's gonna go wrong, right? I tested that literally before we started, and then I don't know what happened. Who knows? Guys,
At least it's at the very beginning.
right?
Yeah.
Welcome to a very special episode of Bitrate. Tonight we are talking with the host of one of our favorite channels on Twitch. Some would characterize her as kind and funny. Others might say she's amazing. So join us as we get to know the person behind the channel, her love for games, and how she's been able to cultivate such a warm and welcoming community. With me as always, Joey and Jer. Guys,
How's it going?
What's up?
and Sammazing.
Hello.
Thanks for being
having
here.
me. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
So I guess
We are too.
we have to start with this, right? Because everybody calls you something different. What do we call you? Do we call you Sam?
You can literally call me anything that you want. Sam, Sammy, Shmamantha, like whatever
Shmamantha.
works.
Shmamantha.
Yeah,
I
my
think-
friend Ren calls me that.
I think we're good with Shmamantha. It's canon.
It'll
Way
do,
to
right?
go, Ren.
It's
Way to
canon.
go, Ren.
This is such a
Anything works.
this is such a great start already.
Yeah.
Dude,
All right.
why, bro?
Well, okay, so we know that you've got a great channel, but we wanted to learn a little bit about the person behind it. So
Absolutely.
so tell us a little bit about you.
So I'm Sam or Shmamantha or Sammy or
Shmamantha.
whatever. I live in North Carolina, originally from Florida. You know, I just really like to have a good time no matter what I do, and Twitch really fits the mold for me there on having a good time. Yeah, and I'm happy-go-lucky and happy to be here.
All right. Well,
For
okay.
some reason, I thought since you were on the East Coast, I thought you were in New York. I didn't know you were in North Carolina. I love North Carolina.
Yeah, I'm in the mountains in Asheville, so
Nice.
cool little hippie city.
Any special guests on your stream or anything like that? Like animals or children or people just walking in randomly? Like, you know, like I have my 3-year-old that walks in and is like, hey, what are you doing? Who are you talking to?
Well, for me, I get bombarded by my dog a lot. He's a 6-month-old
Sure.
little puppy, so he's just like, "Rah, sissy. Rah." So that's pretty much it. And then my cat. That's pretty much it.
That's awesome. My dog doesn't like want anything to do with me ever.
Aw.
Unless he like wants a treat or something.
Miria is
Yeah.
probably going to come over here right now.
Oh,
Yep.
there he is.
There we
There
go.
we go. Yeah. We all
Here-
have our mascots, right? So, well, I
Ears are
mean,
burning.
yeah, totally. Well, I mean, you know, a lot of us know who you are already, you know, and we know that you really, really enjoy streaming. It's part of your everyday thinking, you know, like you've always been really, really well at helping others improve their
Mhm.
stream, et cetera, but like, you know, we really don't know anything about like Chris said, the Sam behind the Sam, so to speak. What do you do outside of Twitch? Like, or are you like always plugged in?
No, I'm definitely not always plugged in. I think everybody needs
Matrix.
like their out, you know. But I think I really like to go bar hopping. Asheville's one of like the biggest beer cities in the US.
Nice.
We have like a bunch of microbreweries here, so like I like to go bar hopping. I like to
Ooh.
socialize, hang out. Yeah, so if you
It's
guys
like
ever
where I
find
live.
yourself here, like yeah, let's go bar hopping, okay? I really like to play golf. Golf is a hobby of mine.
No way.
Yeah, I actually like was a state champion in high school and everything. I
Serious?
haven't been playing so much the past couple years, but I'll still go out like for business and stuff. It's fun.
Wait. What's your handicap?
So I used to be like scratch golfer. Or
Shut
under.
up.
Dang.
Yeah, but now I'm like lucky if I'm bogey, double bogey golfer
I
because
don't
I don't
even
really
know what
do
a
it so
scratch
much.
golfer is.
It's good.
I don't
It's
play golf.
very good,
It's
Joe.
really
Good.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Sweet. Good for
Yeah,
you.
really good.
So we actually like my business always participates in like this chamber tournament where like all these businesses get together and play, and I always get to play like because it's captain's choice, so I always get to play from the ladies' tees, so I'm always invited because I always get the longest drive. So like that's yeah, it's just fun, like, and it's so therapeutic, I think, to just go out, even though a lot of people get really triggered. For me, it's like such a mental like just channel all my mental energy into it and just hit the ball and do really well, you know? So
Well, plus
Yeah.
when you're better than everybody else, it's just really easy, right?
yeah, I guess. Yeah. I don't
Everything
like to
is-
think of myself as better, you know, but I'm just like, yeah, I'm there, you know?
All right. Well, if you come out to California and hang out with us, you got to bring your clubs for sure.
All right, will do. That'd actually be super fun. Bar hopping and golfing. I'm so down.
On the same
rent
day
both.
at the same time.
Yeah.
Why not?
This is challenge. We are automatic challenge.
Sam, will
We
you
go
get behind me and wrap your arms around me and show me how to swing?
This is my
Yeah,
club,
it'll be
man.
like Titanic, but golfing.
Yes.
Or like that scene in Ghost where they both fucking mold the clay?
Oh, I'll hold the penny for you.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh man.
Deal.
That's so funny.
Oh.
So what got you started? What game was it that got you started playing games and it transformed all this?
So I don't quite remember which. I want to say the Nintendo 64 came first for me. And my dad, he used to own like all these video stores, like Video Planets in Florida. So he kept like all these movies and DVDs and games and stuff like that. And he just had all these consoles. And so when I was like, 6 or 7, he'd introduced me to them. So it was like, Mario. And I remember like the biggest game I remember, I don't know why, was like this jet skiing game on the Nintendo 64. And like,
Dude, I remember that game.
dude, it was so fun. Like I
Rad.
used to be so into that. Like, and then we play like Rayman on the PS1 and like just all these different kind of classic games. But what really got me like hooked into gaming was my uncle. I call him my funkle because he's in my stream frequently. Enormous. Big time WoW nerd, like super into WoW. Like he played beta ever since. He's been like super into it. So when I was little and I would go to his house because he lives in Florida, so I'd like go back and forth. I would always like play WoW with him, and that just like that whole world, like the vanilla WoW world, just got me like hooked in games. So like since then, I was like a gamer, you know.
Fantastic. But
So-
Javi said it's Wave Race 64.
Yeah, something like I don't even
That's
remember
the
what
one.
it was called,
I
but it's the
wanted to
jet
say
ski
Wave
one, and
Runner.
it's so
Yeah.
yeah. I was thinking Wave Runner too, but like that was like the biggest thing when I was a kid. I have no idea. I don't even really. I've never been into wave running jet skiing like that, but it's really fun. I would love to play it like now. It was just
They
fun.
had the arcade one too, where I think it was one that. Did you actually sit on the jet ski, or was that the motorcycle one?
That was
I remember they
MotoGP.
had it. Okay, I remember they had it in arcade though, where like you could control that. It was cool.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of funny that WoW is really sort of like a catalyzer for creating gamers. I mean, because a lot of us got started like in WoW, right? Jerry, you played WoW like way back when. I played
Yeah,
WoW.
helped me save for my house because I didn't do anything else.
Same.
And
So
I
I've been
remember I
down that
called-
rabbit hole for sure.
so
Yeah,
how
I
long
told
did
my
you
boss I had the flu when the first expansion came out.
Well, it's because it's the best expansion in video game history. Well,
True,
whatever.
it was great.
What was the first one? Like Burning Crusades?
Burning Crusade. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long did you play WoW, Sam? Like what was your
Well, it wasn't like it was like only with my uncle at his house. So
Okay.
I always asked to go to my uncle's house, like it was always like super fun. We always like hang out doing that. And I would always play on like his account or my aunt's account, his wife. So it was pretty much just that. So it was like our special treat, but then like as I got older and like got a computer, I went to the store and bought WoW on like, this really shitty laptop that could not hold WoW, but I still did it anyways. So yeah, I think I've maybe played for I want to say 3 years ish, like on and off. And now I'll still go back and play it occasionally. But what I do now is I ride around on my mounts and I'll just like fly around, get some pets, then call it a day. Like it's not like something I play hardcore. Yeah.
It's probably a super I get it. Well, okay, so what was the transformation moment, right? Okay, so you're playing games, you're hanging out at your aunt's and your uncle's house, playing WoW whenever you're like, and then you think to yourself, man, I could stream this. What was the aha moment?
Oh, streaming came way later. Like I think what I was talking about, like with my aunt and uncle, that was probably when I was like, I don't even how long ago did WoW come out? Like
When I was 18,
like
so
20 years ago.
15 years ago, 16 years ago.
Yeah, so I want to say I was maybe like 10, 11, 12 or something. But then I evolved, I guess, later and got an Xbox. And I would play Call of Duty with all of my like high school friends. Like every day after school, we'd log on and play COD together, Black Ops. And and Modern Warfare 2 and like all the COD games basically. And that was like my first online experience of gaming, and it was really like it was just fun because you could play with your friends and you could get heated together and laugh together and like all these clips and whatever. And then like moving forward a couple years, I always console game. I just like started playing Overwatch on console. I always played like the Kingdom Hearts games. That's like my favorite series of all time on console. Story games on console. Blah blah blah.
What
And
was
then about 3. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what was your experience like early on playing console like COD? Like, did you have like an okay experience as a female gamer?
Yeah, I have never really like I guess had an issue with people being rude to me. At least not then, because we always had like a full team.
Okay.
So I didn't really have a lot of like, teammates bashing each other, and I never really ever talked to the other team because you're always in party chat, so it's like it never really was like a huge thing for me until I got to PC. Then it became a huge thing. But when I was on console, it was fine for me. I don't like have a remembrance of a bad experience there.
See, I'm wondering because I think early on when COD released to Xbox, there, like, I don't remember if there wasn't a party system or what, but you wouldn't party up. It was like you could have a team, but you were in a lobby with everybody else. So before and after the round, you could talk to the other team.
Oh, true. I
And
think
so-
like, yeah.
so
right
it
before
would-
the game starts, you're like with everybody.
Yeah, so it used to
Yeah,
get
I
like
remember now.
real toxic, like real
I
quick.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's all coming back to me. Maybe I did have a couple bad experiences.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. I
Just
think
nothing that pops out to me.
I was gonna say if you can't think of it right off the bat, I think you're okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Sorry. I just had to ask because I always wonder about that. Because I think now it's becoming more prevalent to see more female gamers in the mix. But back
Mhm.
then, like it
wasn't really a thing.
It wasn't a thing.
Like, yeah. No, I think Siege is probably the worst for that kind of toxicity for sure. Like that's why you don't really catch me playing Siege ever on stream or anything.
Wait, what's Siege?
Rainbow
Rainbow
Six
Six.
Siege.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Chris doesn't know. Sorry.
I don't know.
I've
No,
wanted
it's-
to get into it for a very long time, and I just don't.
It's-
I only have like 1 or 2 buddies that play it occasionally, so I've never played it with anybody.
Don't get me wrong, like it's a super fun game. Like it's fun to be super tactical like that, but just being a female, like just don't use voice comms. But it's hard when you want to play comp. You have to use voice comms,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was the start of it? I mean, let's hop forward a few years and what was the aha moment to get you going?
I never wanted to be a streamer. I'm just gonna start by saying that. Like I
Everybody
never.
unfollow Sam now.
Yeah.
She doesn't want it.
She doesn't want it really. Stop subbing. Just kidding. I'm joking.
No, you're fine. But like my Twitch journey started off as just a viewer, and I was always wanted to be a viewer, supportive viewer, whatever. But I got involved with a couple different communities, the Activator community, Faye Razzle community, and 24K community. All of those were my 3 main communities, and throughout like a year or so of being on Twitch and engaging a lot with like the chat and being in other people's streams from that community, I started getting follows like for no reason. People just followed, like I never said, oh, I'm going to stream one day. Like it never was that. And I was talking with Roberito, actually, we were talking about him earlier. I was talking with him and I was like, what the fuck? I have like 160 follows right now. Like I might as well just do like a stream when I get 200, like totally kidding. Not serious at all. And he like went to all the communities and said, she's gonna stream at 200 followers, make it happen. So
Wow.
like everybody pushed for that to happen, to get to 200 followers, and then like it happened, and then I had to stream. And
It's a
so
dope community.
it's like I would be lost without it, I think. Like it's just an amazing community.
So in a way, it's
But yeah.
Rob's fault.
Pretty much, yeah. Rob and Activator, between the two of them, pretty much. Yeah.
Oh man, that's amazing.
And then so
great,
I
though.
think like it's super, like I'm super grateful for it. But yeah, I never wanted to be a streamer. But I'm glad that I am. I'm glad that I was pushed to be one. It's been like really, really fun, like a fun journey.
Do you remember the very first stream? Oh, yes.
My first stream was about a 13-hour stream.
No.
And I think
Jesus.
I held about 66 average viewers that first stream.
Damn.
Wow.
And so normally when people start streaming, right, you grind up to start, building a community, building, regulars coming in, and you ease your way into learning how to stream and dealing with your tech issues and dealing with everything. Hell no, throw me in the pool without being able to swim. Like, it was a whole different kind of beast than anybody that I've heard of that is not like, already a celebrity, or I'm not saying I'm a celebrity at all, but like, it's to have that kind of exposure for the first time doing it was insane. And of course, everybody was so supportive, and it was amazing. It was an amazing experience, but it was like, I didn't know how to act at times. Like, how do I talk? Like, but you just, after a couple hours, I just kind of relaxed. The adrenaline kind of wore off a little bit, and I just,
kept going.
Then I didn't ever stop. And now here we are. So yeah.
13-hour stream. That's so nuts.
Yeah.
So could I ask you a question? Aki wants to know what game was the game that you first streamed?
So that first stream, I had a huge support system with like a group of my friends. So we did, at the time I was super into Paladins. So we did a lot of Paladins. We played a lot of hours of The Forest. And I will never touch the game again after that.
No, that game is fucking phenomenal, dude.
Oh my god!
The Forest was actually my first game streamed ever too. So
did you start playing? Yeah, it was. Did you start playing the Paladins or Overwatch first?
Overwatch came way first because I started
okay.
playing it on console, on PS4, and then swapped over to PC when I got a PC, and then found Paladins. And then Paladins is still my most played game on Steam. I figured that out the other day. Yeah. And I haven't touched it in like a year.
It was like 3,000 hours, guys. She announced it on stream.
It's like 400, please.
It's more than a work year.
You got a year spent in fucking Paladins.
Well, that's pretty inspiring, actually. Now I feel like my 5 to 6 viewers per stream is just a small bit, but you, like you said, you would put yourself in a position to have such a support system. You were active in the communities that you wanted to be active in, and they supported you. And that's pretty much what Twitch is sort of not sort of, but it is all about, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to say here that Jer first stream after getting affiliate got 6 subs. So he's not in a different boat. Yeah, it's congratulations, but he's not in a different boat just because you have you got.
No, it is. Okay, I got lucky. Okay, I was again lucky to have a great support system. By the way, this one right here, well, that one down there actually on your stream, she was my very first. So
I was number uno.
Yeah,
I was so proud of it,
uno. And right now I have, let's see, do I have number 2 in here? I have number 2 in the chat right now. Riot is number 2.
Hi, Riot.
Shabadoo, number 3. And Chris was number 4. And then some other, Dookie showed up. And yeah, it was fantastic. But enough
That's awesome. Congratulations. That's
thanks.
super awesome, though.
I was pumped. I was pumped.
Yeah.
So
now you have to get emotes.
By the way,
yeah, we're working on that.
so you make it through your first Twitch stream,
and
then you go on to play 7,000 hours of Paladins, and
I love how it gets like so much more every time.
every time it's gonna get larger and larger. So, like, what was the feeling after that first stream? Like, did you think, oh man, this is something I want to do?
I don't think I slept for like 48 hours after, because the adrenaline rush that I had of like, and just like soaking everything in that happened. Like, the reason I had like the high viewership was because all these raids from people, which was awesome. And it was just like meeting new people and, meeting all these people that I've known for years on Twitch, like, but they've never like seen my face like they are, and like interacting with me the way they are, and like just the conversations and the gameplay and like just everything. It was so like overload that I was like, oh my god. So I don't think I slept for like 2 days after. I was hyped. I was so pumped.
That's dope.
And that's why I kept doing it. Like everybody was like, "When's the next one? When's the next one?" I was like, "I don't know, but I want to kind of do it again."
It's really cool when your personality is what keeps people around.
It's
You
like-
know what I mean? I find that to be a much more enjoyable stream than other reasons. When
I
you got
really
a
hope nobody
personality-
watches me for my gameplay. I'm just gonna say that. Real
Same
quick.
with me. I got you right there.
it's like taking the sip of like the first good beer that you have, and you're like, "Ooh, I want some more of this. Let's keep going."
Yeah.
Mm.
When you were
Absolutely.
14.
When you were 14. Yeah, exactly. Not that we condone underage drinking on this podcast, which we don't.
We
would
don't.
never.
No, not at all. All right, so
Okay, so you streamed for your first day. Let's back it up a little bit. The name Sammazing, where did it come from? How did you get to that point?
So the name Sammazing came like way before my Twitch career did. It came from basically the story is I have it on my notes as Guitar Guy. That's the name of my story of my name is called Guitar Guy. Basically, I had this friend that was a musician. Like music was his passion. He was like playing all these gigs and like downtown in my city, and we were super cool friends. And he ended up breaking one of his guitars, like his most precious guitar ever, and like had a gig, couldn't do it. And I had just a guitar hanging out because it was it was like a hobby that I never really got into, you know, but I still kept the guitar. And I was like, dude, no worries, I got you. Like, just I'll give you my guitar. Don't fucking worry about it. You can keep it for as long as you need it. All good. So he was like, "Oh my god, you are literally Sammazing for this," like, and like word vomit of like Sammazing. I was like, I like the name, so thanks. Like, I'll remember that. And so here it is. Now it's a staple on my Twitch channel.
That's awesome.
That's dope.
Yeah. I kind of
right
like
on.
nicknames when they happen like that, you know, like where
Organically.
somebody else gives it to you.
The only legitimate kind of nickname. If you nickname yourself, you're a tool. Don't do it.
I didn't nickname myself, so
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm positive actually. No, I didn't actually. So okay, so you had your first stream and you had this amazing stream and people were encouraging to do it again, and then that led to your current community. Can you expand on your current community and what they mean to you? And
I don't even think I have enough words like for that. Like it was an amazing first turnout, but only like, you know, a portion of that kind of became regulars and have stuck around, you know? Like that's just how Twitch works, you know? But now it's just kind of like grown into this like huge fucking like fireball of amazing people. Like, and I've like always kind of had that motto, like good people attract good people. Like it just kind of happens that way, you know? And I think I'm a good person. I think I'm pretty, you know, pretty cool, pretty good, decent human being. And I think just like me being that and, you know, being able to talk to people and respect people, and having the community that I do that are like similar people, good people, always it helps new people want to stay. And then it just expands on the good people. So it's like just this like fireball of amazingness, you know? Some amazingness. And that means the world to me. Like it means the world to me to be able to go live no matter what's going on in the world or personal or whatever, to press go live and to be surrounded by amazing people. Like that, there's no words to describe how amazing that feeling is. You know, and I hope that I make people feel that too.
You do.
I hope so. Thank you for saying that.
we really look forward to your Friday streams, to be honest with you, because honestly, we don't know what's going to happen come that
Nobody
fourth,
knows.
fifth, 6th hour. I mean, I think your best clips and audio bites are right out of that 4th, 5th, and 6th hour.
Yeah, most of my clips did come from the hours like that. Yeah, like me dancing with the fucking Jaeger and the whiskey bottle. And like, yeah.
So here's a fun question for you. What are some of the most memorable moments that you've had with like just hanging out with your community?
Most memorable.
And it could be obviously off stream, because we know that you do the TwitchCon and stuff like that. So I mean, it can be anything.
Yeah.
Oh, well, TwitchCon 2018 to me was by far like the most memorable weekend outing ever.
That's legit.
Like literally at TwitchCon 2018, it was me and maybe 20 other people in the active community, Activator included. And we literally just walked around the convention the whole time together, going to booths, and then we'd break up, go do our own thing, meet back up at a bar, go get drinks, go back to the convention or go out, eat something. Like it literally was like a posse the whole time of like these people I had never met before, ever, but still felt like family because we knew each other from online, you know, and that's surreal to me because like I've never met people from online like that, you know?
Yeah.
It's like,
There's
thank you, all of you guys, for
kinship
not
there.
murdering me, but you know, like, so
Burying in the desert somewhere. Yeah, got it. Well,
yeah. And like traveling across the country by myself, like that was, you know, already wild. And then meeting all these new people, I had no idea like who you never like know who they are until you like meet them. So I'm glad that they were all cool.
see the
But yeah,
whites
that
of
was
their eyes.
just awesome.
Well, right on. Okay, how about on stream?
On stream, there's so many like just random moments. I think I think that like the most awesome thing to me is when viewers make a clip of something that means something to them, right? So, and then going back yesterday and going through all my clips and like seeing what meant to lots of people, like made it mean so much to me.
Don't look at any of our clips.
We had so much fun. We had so much fun last Friday. Oh my god.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Mexican Moscow mules.
No, it's a Mexican mule.
Well,
Do you get it? Because
yeah.
you use tequila, you use vodka in a Moscow mule. It's
apparently there's cocaine in Moscow mule too. So
Yeah, I
it may or
remember
may
that
not
comment.
be.
I was like, wink.
someone.
Yeah, the eyebrows.
Drinks cocaine.
Wink.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Yeah, I just you guys, we're gonna do the QA after the main part of the interview, and then we're gonna let her spill her guts out to you about what she thinks is best for your stream and everybody else's. Well, not everybody else's, but going forward with your stream.
So, one of the questions I have, so like your community now, every time I've been in it is fantastic. Like everybody's super cool, super chill. Everybody likes to joke around. There's a great vibe. Have you ever had to like the opposite come in? Like, have you ever experienced like just super negative people or toxicity or any of that?
Yeah, I think, everybody's going to get that. Trolls coming in and just saying rude shit, you know, it happens. And for me, a lot of people say like make trolls content, like make that toxicity content. But for me, I'm kind of just like, it's fine to do it here. Like, I'm not going to give you the attention you want besides this, but don't fucking go around and do that to other people. That's not nice. Like, stop doing it. So I don't like to make content out of it because I think it fuels their fire. And I also have like a really good mod squad who's going to shut that shit down pretty quickly if they feel like it's going to jeopardize the vibe, you know. And it's so easy to do that with the troll, especially if you let them keep going, which is why I don't like to make content out of it. So
mods are such a
justification
factor in controlling your channel. Mods are very important.
Yeah, absolutely. They need to carry the vibe that you want always, you know.
So that brings us to another question. You're like the mods that you have now and the people that you surround yourself, like your your support people, your support group.
Mm-hmm.
How did they all come to be?
So a lot of my mods are activator mods as well. And the Acti mods are really a close-knit group. And we have been as we've added new mods into it. Like we've got the veteran mods like Kevington and Renegade were there before I was. Roberito was not a mod before I was, but he's a mod now. But like all these like veteran people of the activator community that I've known forever and that always will support me and have my best interests are definitely mods. And then it kind of became like a lot of those guys are EU people and they're not going to be awake at the times that I stream because I stream at night. So they're not going to be awake, you know, at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. So then it kind of just became like over time, what did I need as a moderator? Like, when did I need them? Who's going to be here? And I think Hamsta came about. Hamsta is like one of the best people I've ever met on Twitch. He's just super awesome. He carries my vibe out really well. Ryan Bixler carries my vibe out really well. And they're always there at night. So it's like, I always want to make sure at least one mod's there, you know? I don't require it or anything. Obviously, I'm not going to be like, you have to be at my stream now. Like, but typically they're there and they help a lot. So it's just like
Yeah.
people that, you know, you feel it. You just feel it. Like, you carry my vibe out well. I trust your judgment. Moderated, you know?
Cool.
Mod slash mod
Slash mod.
slash mod. Yeah. Well, right on. That's very, very cool. What about some of the stumbling blocks that you've had along the way?
Some of the what? Sorry?
Stumbling blocks, some roadblocks, stumbling blocks.
Oh, okay.
You
Okay.
know, pitfalls.
I think tech issues early on were some of my biggest, like, frustrating moments.
You don't say.
Yeah, I struggled a long time with internet issues. Got that all sorted out, so we're pretty good now. I struggled for a while with audio issues. I literally, because I had no idea about PCs or anything, like, when I started. So I used to have my microphone like mounted like 5 feet away from my face, up above me, because I thought that's what you were supposed to do. It's not. Like, so I had to go through some of that stuff. Stuff with your computer stops working and you have to fix it. Like, so I think tech has definitely been one of my biggest stumbles out of everything else.
So
Speaking of that, do you you talked about how you like to geek out on, you know, switching things up and tweaking things in your stream.
Mhm.
How much time each week do you spend working on stuff like that, do you think?
It really depends, especially recently, because I've been changing a lot of things up with like my graphics and alerts and stuff like that. So some weeks I'll spend, 5 hours a week. Sometimes it'll be like 20 hours a week, just trying to, like, because I notice the small details and I like to tweak everything to be perfect. And then, like, you'll like be streaming and you'll see something and you're like, damn it, I have to fix it. And then, like, that turns into like more problems and you're like, oh my God, what did I get into?
Yeah.
But like sometimes it's OBS stuff, like just testing settings in OBS, and like trying to push max quality all the time. Sometimes it's being in stream elements in the overlay editor and the widget editor, like just tweaking with stuff in there. Sometimes it's changing colors, it's changing fonts, it's just changing all this stuff to make it a production, basically, or as close to a production as I can get it. So a lot of time. And that's like just on me. I spend a lot of time in other people's like bots and, overlays and stuff too, helping them have a, like, that kind of detail put into their stream too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. But I love doing it. Like, it's like you said, I geek out about it. Like, I love doing it. Sometimes it gets really overwhelming, but most times it's rewarding.
Yeah.
I love making a space that, like, I'm proud of and the streamer's proud of. Like, that's the best feeling ever.
Now, do you have a favorite piece of like streaming tech or kit, or is there a part of your stream that you love above all else?
Okay, this is gonna sound really weird. Okay, my favorite part of like my whole entire setup, it's not even really a tech part, it's just a little piece of equipment, is my camera mount. It's like this little 11-inch flex mount.
Yes.
Right. And like you unscrew it and the whole thing like falls apart, but then you screw it and it stands tight and you can literally put it in any angle, anywhere.
Is it the Gorilla Pod? Is it the Gorilla Pod?
No, it's not. No, but I have one right here.
Nice. Those things are useful.
Not that one.
But I have mine connected to the same thing.
Yeah, so I use this now, this Gorilla Pod. I use it now to focus my camera because I have to do it manually. So that's what I use my pod for. But no, it's like, I'll send you the link. It's like this little, like, not even a foot long little thing, and you can mount it everywhere, and you can, it's amazing. But besides that, like, actual tech piece, I'd have to say my Go XLR. It has been, because I'm not an audio guru by any means, it's made everything so easy. In terms of audio, especially going dual PC, I recommend it a lot. So yeah, that's probably my favorite electrical tech.
Oh, Jer's sold, because when it comes to audio routing,
yeah, I've had my issues with voice meter, the onboard like driver thing like that, and we had a big power outage here a couple days ago. So when it force shut down, and I brought it back up, it doesn't automatically set the driver to voice meter. It sets it something else. Well, I can talk and everybody can hear me. I felt bad for Chris because I was popping his channel, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, and he's like, "Shut up, man!" But like I couldn't hear anything, and it took me a good 15 minutes to figure it out. I almost flipped my desk because of it. So.
Oh yeah, no,
Oh,
he literally had that guitar behind him, and he was about to smash it, and I was like, dude, don't. I was calling him, don't,
Oh no!
don't do it, don't do it. We'll work it out.
I will say before you get the Go XLR, it's not a huge hiccup, but when Windows updates itself, you will have to reset some of your sources. But there's an app that makes that totally easy. So when you get it, let me know and I can walk you through that. It's called Ear Trumpet. It's great. And it's very helpful.
What does it do again?
So it basically sets, like, every time you open something on your computer, like a game or a browser or an app or whatever, it basically puts it like right in the bottom right of your like little Windows bar at the bottom, you know? Like it puts it like an icon right there. You just click it and then you can assign like the app to like your source in Go XLR, because Go XLR has like
That's
4
legit.
or 5 different things. Yeah, so it's super recommend getting that app. You can always do it through like, you know, the Microsoft whatever, but Ear Trumpet just makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, I'm
But
gonna ask you and Chris to help me when I get my Go XLR because they're awesome.
yeah, absolutely, I super recommend.
That's
But like I
my
said,
next
Windows
tweet.
updates will sometimes mess with that. But
Windows
it's an easy
updates
fix.
mess with everything.
Everything. That's true. Yeah.
I'll never forget like playing games with these guys. Remember, Jared, like way back when we were first trying to stream and like we'd hit a Windows update and it just crash everything. I remember
I'm
that.
flipping desks. I'm flipping desks over, man. I'm telling you.
So
I seem very like calm, cool, and collected, but it's not necessarily the truth.
okay.
So what? Let's see. You got some new stuff coming up. But you, like you said, you were going to be doing some. You're always working on new stuff, but like anything that you're working on that you can give us some tips on at all? Like
What's the
we can break some
secret
news.
squirrel
Yeah, what's the secret?
project?
So there's always at least like 3 or 4 going on. Like whether they're micro ones or big ones. For me right now, I am in the works of making my channel and my art less cartoony, because originally when I first got art, I really liked like the esports logo kind of theme, you know, kind of like that, just, you know, easygoing, I guess, character style. But now like looking more into it, like I really like kind of like, you know, getting professional art done and, you know, this like intricate intros and just stuff like that. So I think right now that's like it's my thing right now. It's like I have it all in my head of kind of what I want, but it's a matter of finding the artist that's going to do it, because a lot of artists right now are good at that cartoony kind of vibe, right? So I don't know, like I guess it would still be kind of cartoony but not like as esportsy cartoony. So I guess it's just like a production change, I guess, for my channel is kind of like the big project that I'm working on right now.
I think it reflect. You know, our streams reflect us. You know, constantly changing, constantly moving in different directions. You know what I mean? As we evolve, our stream evolves.
Yeah, I think one of my best friends and like one of my biggest supports of my channel, like just mentally and just thought provokingly, is Red Seal. And he has a tattoo. It says, "If you're not changing, you're dying." And I think
Yep.
that's like one of the best mottos ever, because it's so true. If your life isn't a progression, then, you know, what are you gonna have at the end of the day? So I like, that's why I'm always tweaking everything. I just always want to make everything better and better for other people, you know, help them on their journey. So
By the way, he has probably one of the best streamer voices I've ever heard.
he's got one of the best productions like ever. His scenes and stuff and just his whole overall quality and vibe. He's an amazing dude. Love him to death. I call him my dad, my Twitch dad. He's like my guru.
So what's the vision for the intro? Can you share that, or do you want to keep it a secret?
So I'm kind of like, I've got this thing going right now where I will always want to keep Walter, right? Walter's my mascot, my logo, my stuffed animal frog that I've had forever. So he's the logo. He'll stay the logo and the mascot basically, but I'd love to have like, I don't know, like these intricate little like lily pads all around everywhere, and then as people come in, like add more little frogs to it and just have it be really interactive with chat, right? And like Walter's like kind of like the, I don't like the chief around like all these people like coming in to like, you know, in the stream. Like I think that would just be it, but it would have to talk to the API of Twitch somehow, and it would be really intricate, but I will pay out the ass for that to happen. So it's like already like a gathering before I even show my face, you know? So
That's cool.
That's like my vision.
Well, right on. So, I mean, recently you hit some milestones. I'm clicking around like crazy. Recently, you hit some milestones on your stream. Can you expand on that and what some of your next goals moving forward are going to be?
Yeah. So, we recently hit 150 subs in the channel, which is huge for anybody ever. But for me, it was huge because in early February, I broke my leg, right? And had to spend a couple months, like, rehabbing that and doctoring that and getting better with that. And so I couldn't stream because I couldn't go downstairs or upstairs at all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was not fun. 0% recommend that.
Yeah.
So to be gone for that amount of time was like, I knew that coming back to streaming was not going to be what it was. Like it was going to not be, so successful. Like people would have forgotten about me, stuff like this. But my community literally said, fuck no. And they just came back really strong. The numbers have been strong. Everything's just been so just awesome. And it feels like just the best welcome back ever. So I never like to make my numeric goals like known to my chat or to the public or anything, just because I don't want people to feel like, oh, we didn't hit that, so we like let her down or we let ourselves down. Like I personally don't like to do that. So I like it for it to organically happen. But we hit 700 followers as well, which was huge. So because we hit in the same day, we hit 700 followers and then we hit 150 subs on the same day. So I was like, well, chat, guess we're gonna do a 24-hour stream.
Hey.
And I like the way you look at that. Like it is, keeping the numbers to yourself and just letting it grow organically or whatever you need to happen. I agree with that.
Well, I think there's a different way to look at it too, right? I mean, like it'd be one thing if you were doing this solely for monetary purposes, but I think more for you, it's more like the more people we have in here, like the cooler the vibe, the more fun the community is.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, like that's a more positive approach, I think, for that, right? Because I mean, we all, and I think, one of the strongest things about Twitch is like word of mouth and being friends with people on Twitch or just in real life. Like that's how people meet. So,
absolutely.
if you find a streamer that you like in a community that you love to be a part of, you should share that with people, because the people that you hang out with, I mean, they're going to like it too. Right. So bring it in.
Yeah. 9 times out of 10. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So thinking about it that way is like, the more people we have in here, like the cooler it is, like the more people are going to find those connections between each other interpersonally. And I mean, that's one of the reasons I got started, is I was thinking, man, like I met these guys randomly playing Overwatch on Xbox 17 years ago. Right. And like, what if we just created these communities to grow our clique? Like,
how many characters do they have in Overwatch 17 years ago?
2. There was only 2. It was
Hanzo and Genji.
It was Tracer and Moira, and surprisingly, it was horrible. The game was horrible back then.
Oh god.
It was very pixelated. So,
yeah. It was 8-bit, guys. Just a heads up.
Oh god.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
No, but like,
that's crazy. Like that you guys are such good friends off just like a random encounter in Overwatch.
No. So literally, I think we'll go ahead and tell this story. Why not? So my buddy Anthony is a prolific console gamer. Like he had the best controller aim I've ever seen. Back in the day. Honestly, if and everybody goes down paths in life, but if he hadn't got married and had kids and stuff like that, if he would have stayed a bachelor, he'd probably be a pro player. Like he's good, and he's just naturally good too, right?
Freaking kids, man.
You're telling me.
So I think one day he texts me, and because we grew up playing COD and all that stuff on Xbox. And then when Overwatch came out, it was a full dive in for, God, I don't even know how long. Like, I think we played only Overwatch for the first year that it was out. But
Probably.
I remember him coming to me and like, he's texting me, goes, dude, he's like, hurry up and get on. Like, I found legit support players. And I'm like, what? Okay. And it was these two guys. Like,
Oh, no way.
and then like the rest is history. Like, we legitimately, like, we found a 6 stack that we kept running with, and that was it.
We were strong.
That is so
We were
dope.
strong.
Yeah.
I mean, we weren't like grandmasters, but we held our own against pretty much any. The games were close. Let's put it that way.
Speak
Yeah.
for yourself.
And then like Jer, like 2 months in or 3 months in, he's like, hey dude, you're in Bakersfield. Like, I'm like an hour and a half away, dude. I'm gonna come this weekend. Let's go out. I'm like, all right.
I was
Show up,
actually
let's
pretty
go.
jealous. They've gotten together a couple times, and I'm up here in NorCal. Like, but
Have you ever
so-
met them in person, Joey?
not yet. No.
No, we
Oh,
just-
well,
we just-
bar hopping and golf. It's got to happen.
Yep.
Yep. You guys can teach me how to golf, and I can get drunk and do stupid things
That
for you.
is a lifelong process, my friend.